Bold and easy coloring books might have had their moment, but reverse coloring books, they're just getting started. And the best part? They're even easier to make. Seriously, if you've struggled with perfecting those bold outlines or are worried about the grayscale that almost always shows up when creating these AI images, then reverse coloring books flip the entire process and take the pressure off. Fun fact, both Bold and Easy and reverse coloring books were submitted for trademarks, but neither one got approved. I'll explain why in just a minute. Today, I'll show you the two options you have when it comes to reverse coloring books, exactly how to make your own step by step, and why this might be your new favorite KDP niche. I know it's mine. I know, I tend to have a new favorite every couple weeks. Let's be honest. Creating a bold and easy coloring book sounds simple, but it actually takes a lot of effort. You have to carefully outline every single image, make sure it's clean, thick enough for the intended audience, and test readability when printed. Reverse coloring books take all of that away and throw it out the window in the best way possible. In a reverse coloring book, the color comes first. The user adds the lines. That means you don't need to create intricate illustrations or worry about whether the lines are bold enough. Instead, you focus on creating abstract, watercolor-like backgrounds, which you can do with simple tools, even completely by hand if you want. Now, let's get into the trademark situation, because it's actually a good thing for us creators. Both Bold and Easy and reverse coloring book were submitted as trademark applications, but they were rejected. The reason? They're considered descriptive terms. That means they directly describe the product without being distinctive enough to qualify for a trademark. According to the USPTO, if a term simply tells customers what the product is, like a coloring book that's bold and easy, or a coloring book where the colors come first, it's not unique enough to reserve the rights to it. So what does this mean for us? It means you're free to use both of the terms in your title, subtitle, or description on Amazon KDP. Just don't try to trademark them yourself, because the outcome will likely be the same. What's even more exciting is that we're at the start of the reverse coloring book trend, not the end. A few early creators have dipped their toes in, but this niche is still wide open. It's creative, low cost to make, and perfect for both adults and kids who want a relaxing and imaginative experience. And because it's easier to create than traditional coloring books, you can publish more often and test multiple themes or styles. If you're feeling inspired but want more structure, I created a course designed to help you build a strong KDP foundation, from choosing the right niche to publishing books that actually sell. It's the course I wish I had when I started, and it's packed with all kinds of tips that'll save you months of trial and error. It's linked in the description box below, but for now, let's get into how you can make a beautiful, marketable reverse coloring book without overthinking it. So first, it's important to recognize the different types of reverse coloring books that there are. Just like how Bold and Easy has, the cute and cozy, they have like coffee shops, they have winter ones, there's all these different sort of types of themes, but they're all, bold and easy. But in this reverse coloring book, there are several different options. We're also going to go over some of these bad reviews so you know what not to do. So if you remember my last video, if I remember, I'll put the card right here, the link, so that you can check that out. I decided to do the type of coloring book where the type of reverse coloring book where it's flowers, like watercolor flowers, but there's no edges so that the person outlines the flowers. Let me show you. Look, I printed a copy. Here it is. And I really love that. That one's kind of a high contrasty one. Here's a rose one. As you can see, there's no outlines. And I chose this one because my mother-in-law really liked it. Here's a good one. She was right behind me when I was making this, and she said, "Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful." So I printed a copy for her and for me so I could show you. And look what I did. I printed the first page. I printed a tulips page. I drew on it with a pen to show people what to do, because some people are like, well, what do I do? Well, you're supposed to outline it, and it's just a different type of coloring book. And again, we have to almost teach people about this because it's so new. And I made a print for my mother-in-law. She loves it. So I want to show you these different types because there are a few different types. So you need to be able to determine which type of coloring book you want to do. So first of all, there is this type that already has some sort of shape. And so these obviously are the same person. This one has 14 reviews, 4.25 stars. This one has one review that's not good. Let's check this one out. No review. Okay. Let's check the neighboring one. Let's check out. Let's see. Oh, when people show images, this one says, nice book. It is a verified purchase. I can't wait. Okay. Arrived fast. That's great. This one I think is really important. It says, I was disappointed. 40 pages of almost the exact same picture. So we've got to make note of that to make sure that the pictures are different. And here you can see the inside. Okay, so they did a watercolor kind of forest or path. And yeah, actually, these are all very, very similar. I can see what that person was saying. So we just keep that in mind when we make our book. Let's look at some different types. That one has kind of already has shape. This one is the original. So that's why it says official. This one, as you can see, is more just like lines and squiggles and blobs, and people have a little bit more creativity, a space to be creative and do what they want. Let's see what the reviews say. Wow, 5,000 reviews. People are loving it. Okay, so they still made flowers. So some of them still had flowers, but they just weren't as defined. Love the bubbles. Oh, this one they used a white pen. Great idea. So you can see where the creativity can still be left to the person buying it. Okay, this one also flowers. Oh, that's fun. Look, they did people at the bottom. So you can see that it really gives people a unique experience. If you know someone who can do watercolor, I think I'm going to hit up my sister-in-law. She can watercolor paint. Another really great way to be able to make these. Let's see what maybe some of the negative ones are. Okay, coloring book was used. Pages were cut up, were drawn on. I wonder if they accidentally bought a used one, because I know that really, okay. Watercolor images are clearly in specific shapes. There are about 5 different pages that are obviously bouquets of flowers. Okay, so just make it clear. I think that's fine, but this person did not like it. This person really just wanted squiggles. So let's go ahead and divide up our types of books from the ones that have some shape and the ones that have no shape. So let's make one that doesn't have any shape. So here in Open Art, I went back and forth between a few different of my AI platforms, and I landed on Open Art. So as you can see, I started saying watercolor, squiggle, explosion, soft. I was just kind of seeing what words were taking to it. And I think this is gorgeous, but again, I wanted one that doesn't have any kind of outline. Oh, and then this one. So I changed the style, and it happened to be a watercolor person. So that's why it gave me this one. I think still beautiful, but not what we're looking for. A little bit better. Okay, but I didn't like that it has outlines. Okay, I think that's pretty, but not what we're looking for. Let's see here. Here we go. A little bit better. I forgot to make it the shape that I wanted. I could stretch it, but okay, even better. Look, someone could definitely draw these. Okay, this one I did. So, and I'm going to share with you the prompt that I used in a second. But what I did is I ended up, once I found the prompt and the style that works, I left that. And then I just changed the color every time. So this one I said pink and blue. And I have ordered one of these also so it can come. I started to add in the prompt lines. As you can see more lines here. Dots. I started to use the words watermark. And then I started to get stuff like this. And you can see this little edge over here that needs to be cut off. This is where it really started to flow and I was getting things I really liked. Again, general, neutral, someone can draw whatever they want from this. I was just typing in different colors. And then once I realized it started to make the same things, then I started to remove words from the prompt. Like I removed the word watermark, but I just kept on changing the colors around. I also upscaled these as high as possible so that they were high res when I downloaded them. So as you can see, I had to start adding the words like high contrast in order to make it more contrasty and get more lines. It started to get a little bit dark, but that's okay. I still feel like it left a lot of creativity. And then, excuse me, and then in here, I tried brown and I liked one, but I didn't like the rest. I felt like they were too dark. And when I put them in the book, I thought it was just too dark. And then here, I needed a few more. Okay, now let me show you the prompt that I used. Here's my prompt. Watercolor, fill the page, abstract. I did watercolor again, and then abstract watercolor in 2 parentheses, because that tells an AI platform that you really want to emphasize that. Abstract art, bleeding over, smooth, neutral pastels. And then this is the only thing I changed was red and green. I would change the colors. Streaks, soft edge lines, heavy streaks, splotches. Okay. And then the model I used was minimalist landscape style. Again, you're going to have to play around. Once you start with the style, play with the prompts, and then if you like that creating, maybe don't change much after that. Maybe just change the style. Let me show you what this looks like in BookBolt. Okay, so here's my book in BookBolt. I took one of the images and turned it to the side when I did this for the cover. And originally I tried to do the same thing. I tried to draw, because my other book I drew examples, but I really felt like it wasn't necessary. I think if you're looking for a reverse coloring book, you know how to use a reverse coloring book. So I didn't feel like it was necessary to add another how-to page. And so then let me go ahead and show you in book view. And this is it. Now make sure you do a bleed on this one. So this is 100 pages, 50 images, back to front. I did 103, so I had a couple of pages at the beginning for the intro. Like I said, do a bleed because the images are going to go all the way to the edge. And I feel like this is going to print. It's going to be coming soon. I always print an example. It's going to print as a really beautiful book. Very, obviously a lot of freedom here to draw what you want. And that's what the reviews said, is that the people who wanted a reverse coloring book did not want, oh, I like that one, did not want any kind of pre-formed flower. They really wanted the freedom to do what they wanted. And who knows, maybe maybe this is too heavy. I will see from the reviews that I get, and then I'll go from there. But I feel like there's enough in here to start with this as a series of books. Okay, well, I hope that helps. And let me know if you have any questions down below.